of Oscar actually being a part of the instrumentality project. You know, and in the beginning, the first time I looked at the end of Ava, afterwards it was just WTF. What the fuck? You know, what the fuck was this? What did I look at? You know, and you just had to keep looking at it over and over and over again just to get a little bit of it.
Yeah, but here's the kick though. As far as Ava goes, you also have the Kabbalah aspect of it.
Oh yeah, because you got the tree of life floating in midair.
Sephiroth.
Out of nowhere.
Yeah, Sephiroth. Sephiroth being the top of it.
Oh, okay.
And which ironically, Kabbalah is also a reference to Final Fantasy VII also. Sephiroth, Genova.
Yeah.
And here's the kicker with that. Kabbalah's getting big for some weird ass reason. I think, especially in Japan. I guess it's because it's also in a way closely linked to the ancient art of Onmyodo.
Well, see, you know, that was one of the things that I had always wondered. When I first started looking at anime again, I remember one of the first things I looked at was X 1999. You know the movie?
Oh yeah.
The movie version. And that was one of the first movies I taped off of, I think, Showtime Beyond. And remember when Kamui got the sword from his mother?
Yeah.
And there was all this Hebrew written on the sword. And the first time I looked at that, you know, I was surprised. I'm like, there's Hebrew on this. Well, what does Japanese, you know, do the Japanese study Hebrew? You know, I thought they were only into, like, you know, Shinto and was it Taoism?
Yeah.
Yeah. You know, I just thought that all those over in Asia just studied the Asian religions, but there was a little bit of Christianity in it, because I do know that there are some Catholic schools over in Japan.
There's quite a lot, especially in Nagasaki.
Yeah, actually, I didn't know it was a lot, but I knew that there was some. You know, so you know, when I looked at X 1999, and then when I started looking at Evangelion, and when I saw, you know, all of the Kabbalah and then all of the Christianity stuff, you know, like Malcolm naming her computer the Magi, Caspar, Balthazar, Melchior, the whole fact that you have Shinji, just like Jesus, becoming this one young man who has to, you know, save humanity, basically. And, you know, it's just, I didn't realize that there was such Judeo-Christian beliefs in Japan. You know, I didn't know there was a lot of it. And it was, you know, shocking when I first looked at Ava, when I first looked at X 1999, because I didn't know that they, you know, knew Hebrew or studied Hebrew or the Kabbalah and such. But I guess it's big there.
It is.
Sorry if I sound confusing.
It is, if only for research and stuff like that. But there are some who are heavy into the Kabbalah because they also link it up with many magical practices. Kabbalah is especially popular with Wicca. I should know because I practice it. I mean, it's interesting, especially how much of yourself you put into the craft. But I digress. Ava was started from Hideaki Anno's nervous breakdown, in a way. Also, at the time, he was also part of. Well, it was rumored that he was also part of a cult called whatever the fuck it is. I can't remember. Yeah, Shinrikyo cult.
They made a couple of documentaries on them.
And later on, Siren Gas got poured to Tokyo the one day before it got aired.
Wow, that's weird.
Oh yeah. So between that and the Max being dubbed in Japanese and shown there, it sent many Japanese viewers into a frenzy and a viewership mind fuck.
Damn. But you know what? Show which reminds me of you, but not really. Rise Farm.
Yeah.
The two. It was interesting because they added in the two hit planets. They connect into each other.
Oh yeah. Alternate timelines.
Yeah.
With Geneva?
No, Razapon.
Rise Farm.
Oh, yeah, that was one. I haven't watched that in a good while. I remember that was supposed to be someone else's kind of like tribute to Ava in a way, and it was kind of this. I forgot who made Razapon, but they made it so that the Shinji and the Misato character finally hooked up and got married. You know,
Right.
which I looked at that and I was like, really? I just felt you all just made this anime. You called it your little version of Ava, just so that you could finally hook up Misato and Shinji. Really?
Isn't it about Zen-chan?
Well, except the difference is Haruka was actually cooler.
Alright, yeah.
Haruka
I haven't
was,
watched it in a while either, but yeah.
Haruka was actually cooler than Misato. I'll give them points for that.
Well, he was a little bit better than Shinji.
Yeah, Ayato was actually.
Shinji was just a little.
But wait, all right, you know what? Shinji does get a lot of bashing, but you know, I want you all to look at it
Well,
this
also,
way.
what are you gonna do if you're just a 14-year-old boy?
Yeah, but I just realized something. You know what? I forgot to look at it. I forgot to say this when I was at Otakon. But think about it, okay? Shinji is a 14-year-old boy, okay? And out of nowhere, one day, his father, out of nowhere, sends for him to come to his place of business. The same father that abandoned so many years ago, and he wants him to pilot this bio-humanoid thing that he's never laid eyes on. Don't even know how to drive, okay?
Dude, when I was 14, I would be like, hell yeah, let's go put some shit
Yeah,
up.
but that's just, okay, now see, that's just it right there. If you were 14 again, wouldn't you kind of, but then again, well.
Do you know me at all? I'll be owing that shit like a motherfucker. Like, yeah, let's go.
If I was 14,
Let's go. Are you kidding me?
if I was
I was
14,
riding my bike around the city, going down
Look,
South Street,
if I
going
was
to Hampton
14,
to Amtrak Station.
look,
You fucking kidding me?
if I was 14 and I had that option to pilot a giant robot to save the world, let's just say, I'd be the one that I would usher in all the impacts.
You would crash the shit. Number one.
I said all the impacts.
You all are so full of it. It is unbelievable. You all are so full of shit.
You think so?
Animals wouldn't help you.
I knew a guy that knew me when I was 15. Chris Cashin. Ask him on Facebook. He was like, yo, that motherfucker's a wild motherfucker.
At 14.
I had a mustache and half a beard at 14. I was buying beer at 15.
Weirdest things have happened.
I bought a cake at 15. I was in upstate in New York, half an hour away from Utica. We were buying kegs and farm parties, and we tipped cows, Robin. We didn't give a fuck.
Oh, yeah, tell me about that.
I was on the team.
Your cow tipping story. Yep.
So if you were your 14-year-old self again, and your father who abandoned you, okay, all of a sudden, out of nowhere, asked you to come to his job and to pilot this big, gigantic ass motherfucking humanoid machine thing to save the world, to beat some aliens' asses, you wouldn't be scared at all. You would be like, hell yeah, motherfucker. Let's get
I'd be terrified, but I still say hell yeah. I would still do it. I'd be terrified like a motherfucker. So one, I don't hate heights. And he's kind of high up in the head, and all that shit. So, if I still do it, just to do it. Are you kidding me? Roger, you keep forgetting yourself. We are the Chunkerhead crew. We are an extra special subspecies of humanoids that we don't give a fuck.
That really don't give a rat's ass.
We party, we rock on, we do dangerous shit all the time in our heads.
So basically, you're just in agreement that Shinji was just a 14-year-old pussy.
Yep.
I hate to say it, but yes.
I'm not okay.
But if you're not Japanese anime, there's always the pussy aspect. There's always some person, some guy, some girl. Oh no, I don't want to do all that. Oh no, and then you coach him, which is like the Rocky training scene and shit, the Japanese anime world. And then they're like, okay, I think I'm finally ready. Then they usually get their ass beat down the first time.
Yep.
Right?
Yep.
Then they get the ultimate fucking speech like in Briar.
Oh yeah.
Then they're like, oh yeah, I'm amped up. Yeah, I'm ready. I've done my training.
Do it.
Then they can start to do it, and by the second time doing, the third time, you're getting used to it. They're still a little bit fumbling, and then by the fourth or fifth time, they're like, they think they're masters. Then they get beat down once again the sixth or seventh time by like a boss.
By a big boss.
By a big boss.
Who lets the main character live.
Exactly. This is the same plot all over again, but I love it. But it's the same, almost same damn thing, just different variations.
Okay, right.
I still love it, but come on.
All right. You aside, since you were just such a badass, since at 14 years old, you were already Shaft.
You're damn right.
You goddamn motherfucking right I am.
Since you were already cool as fuck as a junior Shaft, we'll just put you aside, and we'll just say that the rest of the 14-year-old boys in this world would be like the way Shinji was.
No, I don't see. I cannot believe that. This is America, number one. We're not talking about Japanese.
Okay, well, first of all, you are right. This is America, and we are.
Do you know how many 14-year-old boys are going out hunting and killing shit and playing with BB guns? They all for it.
And dreaming of
they
the day they can pilot a giant robot.
They said they're about it. Fuck it.
Oh, yeah.
They're ready.
And they have to have their, what was the BB gun that Ralphie just had to have?
Red Ryder BB gun.
Red Ryder.
Yeah, Red Ryder BB gun, yeah.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
In Japanese culture, they're trained to be submissive to your higher-ups and respectful to your elders. And, the thing about, free fucking will, yeah, it seems like to me with Japanese culture, free will has to be earned.
Yeah, well, okay, but see, the way I was looking
at it. So they're like,
okay, I know, but see, the way I look at it is, okay, like, on the female side, I like some of the magical girl stuff, okay?
Yeah.
And one of my favorites is Utena, okay? So I'm saying to myself, if I was 14-year-old, what was I like at 14? If I was 14 again, would I be this badass chick who's going to wield a sword and defeat all the student council so I can have this girl as my bitch? Or am I going to be, kind of, scared and wussy and be like, what the fuck? And I have to admit that at 14, I was scared and wussy and saying, what the fuck? I would just think that most 14-year-old kids, even though this is America, we're different from the Japanese. I would just think that a 14-year-old is a 14-year-old and that they would have moments of fear and scared and being scared and doubt and being like, what the fuck am I doing?
Robin, I want to say, this is America here. We challenged the Japanese in a giant robot fight. Look it up, it's true.
We did?
Yeah.
Who has a giant fucking robot to fight with?
We do.
We do? Well, I'm quite sure the
Japan.
Japanese do. I mean, the Japanese got a gigantic version of the first Mobile Suit Gundam. But us, I don't know what giant robot we have here in America.
Some company built a giant robot.
Oh Lord.
Here in America.
Oh God.
For the specific use of fighting a Japanese giant robot.
So what the fuck?